Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
All right, welcome back to Dawn of Dream Podcast. I'm your host, Ara Amens, the number one podcast in Dallas. We got my co-host, Aiden Kosik here.
What's up, guys?
We got a very special guest, Usman. How do you say your last
Usama.
name?
Usama Asfoor.
Usama Asfoor, CEO and founder of, remind me your business.
Okta AI. I do app development, custom software development. I also have my own app, which is Link AI. It's an AI outreach system for LinkedIn. Anyone that uses LinkedIn to make sales can use this app to have an AI sales bot and just do all the work for them.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I want to definitely get into your business and your platform and what you do, but I want to go to the very beginning of your story.
Yeah.
You're Palestinian,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of go into where you were born, what was family like growing up, things like that, because I know you traveled around the world a lot.
Yeah. So I was born in California. My dad worked in Silicon Valley before Silicon Valley became the big, fad that it is right now. So he worked at Intel, and I was born there. 2 or 3 years later, we moved to the UAE. So I lived there for about the first half of my life, and life was different out there. I mean, as anyone know, halfway across the world. And this was Dubai before Dubai was Dubai. Like when I moved to America in 2010, I would tell people I'm from Dubai. They would not know what it is. They're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's like before like Mission Impossible came out. People were like,
before Mission
Dubai.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. Y'all remember the police cars where they had like Lambos and Bugattis?
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was what put Dubai on the map.
Okay. Good.
After that, everyone's like, bro, look at these photos. Look at these photos. Isn't that where you're from? Isn't that where you're from? And then after that, I didn't have to explain anyone where Dubai was.
That's funny. The police cars
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
And then Drake went there, and then the celebrities went there, and then they just kind of, took off from there. So when I moved here, no one knew what it was. Over there, it's very different. It's not like I didn't understand what American culture was.
What is
At all.
what is the culture there like?
Dude, so it's very much American, but it's more like British American.
Okay.
There's rarely any Americans. I used to flex because I'm American. I had an American passport, so that was a huge flex.
Yeah.
Get all the girls and everything.
Really.
So yeah, an American passport, you're automatically in there.
Got it.
So that was a big flex for me, just being an American. I've been around the world, Jordan, my dad worked plenty different places. So we used to travel around a lot, and 2010 is when I moved to America officially, because my parents wanted to put us in good schools. Obviously, like I have 2 siblings, sisters. I have a brother as well. So when they got into like college, we moved here. So that's how my life started over here. When I moved here, it was a huge culture shock.
Really.
Huge culture shock.
What was like the biggest thing?
I'll tell you, the biggest thing was that people's parents were all divorced.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, like I didn't even understand how common that was over here.
Yeah.
How common was it over there?
One person would tell me, yeah, I live with my stepmom. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other person would be like, oh yeah, my parents are divorced. And then it's like, it just kept becoming a trend. I tell people, yeah, my parents are still together. What?
Yeah. It's
No
reverse
way,
here. It's
bro.
like, dang, bro, that's sick.
And I felt like special for no reason. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, what's even the point of that?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that normal?
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I remember vividly. And then drugs. Dude, I'd ask people, hey, what do you do here? And they'd be like, yeah, we smoke. And in Dubai, like, you gotta understand, like, it's very on the down low. Like, when people do that type of stuff, it's
Yeah.
like, you can't talk about it. Like, shut up. Like, let's go in the closet. Let's go to the bathroom or whatever. Over here, it was like normal. Like, the teacher's listening. The teacher's in on it too.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a Spanish teacher. He'd smoke with all the students.
Yeah. I definitely.
To me,
had
that was like
English
crazy.
teacher.
That was like very crazy to me. So I was like, what the hell happened?
that, and like the sex culture here is like insane. Like,
It's
speaking of
like
like
that
high
over
school,
there.
like I had teachers where it was like, oh yeah, you go to her house for a good time. It's like in high
between
school.
students and teachers.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the culture is like that in Dubai as well with like sex?
Not with teachers and students.
Not like that, but like what
like
is it the same?
between peers?
Okay,
It's the same. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
basically the same.
interesting. I thought it'd be different, but I guess not.
I mean, obviously, like girls are more hoish here, but
Yeah.
over there it's still like they're the dating scene, and then you got like people go to their houses and have fun, whatever. So it's kind of the same over there, and you gotta remember it's Dubai. It's not like Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
Which now, like nowadays, Saudi Arabia is becoming Americanized a lot. So
Are you seeing other like, I guess other countries overseas becoming more Americanized as time goes on?
100%.
And what's that what's happening to the culture? Are they losing their culture? Are they losing what
It's
they
all
were?
social media.
So they're seeing what we do and they're
It's
duplicating
influence,
it.
yeah. Because when I lived in Dubai, before social media, before Facebook, before anyone had any of that, bro, we didn't know what America like culture was like.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like
We weren't even exposed to it
Mm.
to even think is this good or bad. It's just like this is how we live. That's it.
Yeah.
With social media, you get exposed to that. So then, obviously, you get exposed to it in a different manner where it's praised and it's idealized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at like TV and you look at social media and they're like praising it.
Yeah. It was
Obviously,
like
the
that's
bad
God's.
shit. Yeah, the bad shit. So
Yeah.
then you have to have like decisions where it's like, do I want to do this behavior or do I not want to do this behavior?
Right.
But it's definitely social media. Social media is the number one culprit.
It's the great equalizer.
Yeah,
Bro.
It's everyone's tapped in just
Yeah.
like that.
exactly.
All around the world.
I have
It's
this
globalized.
I have this thing about social media where it's like it's basically government. So like basically what social media did was it broke down the borders between every country and like forget the states, like every country. So if social media is run by this one organization or like this one organization is funding most of the ad revenue and the ad campaigns on it, then essentially what I'm doing is if everyone from every country is getting onto this one platform, then you subscribe to the laws, which are the user agreements. Like those are the laws of that government, which is that platform. So you put everybody on this platform. The laws might be different in Dubai as they are in Saudi Arabia, as they are in the United States. But you put every one of us, all of our different cultures under this one government. And then people look for culture within that. And then that's where you get like, well, if this, if the left or whatever you want to talk about, like specifically is like targeting a group of people that are on that platform, it's mainly like 18 to like 25, like that range.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. You're basically giving the whole world one law,
yeah.
which is the social media law.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no longer government laws, so people just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They just want to be heard on social media. They just want to be popular. They just want to be famous, be viral, whatever, be an influencer. That's
5 minutes of
literally
fame.
how it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes, whatever. So
It's funny how like different social media platforms have different rules too. Like I remember years ago, porn was allowable on Twitter, and I didn't know that. So one day I'm scrolling through Twitter and I'm just seeing full like penetration. And I'm like, yo, what the heck?
It's crazy.
And
bro.
I'm like, or like in Instagram now, you can if you breastfeed, you're allowed to show the nipple.
yeah.
And I'm like, they're finding loopholes.
only if you're breastfeeding.
Yeah, but so what like what people will do, what like influencers like OnlyFans girls will do is they'll pretend to be breastfeeding.
Oh, that's
And so then they're
Just to
showing
go viral.
just so they can show their goodies. And it's like they're finding the loopholes in the laws and utilizing
you
it. It's
gotta do.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's insane. Like on X, you'll be like, look what Kamala, look what Trump just said, and you click on it, and then like the first video is like, who cares what they said? Look at what I'm like busting open like online. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this has nothing to do with what I was talking about. It's like, dude, it's kind of nuts, dude. It's pretty.
Y'all
nasty.
think social media is gonna be something that's very, very mainstream, even more mainstream than it is today, or do you kind of think that there's like a pendulum swing where it's like everyone just tired of this shit?
That's a great question, man.
I think it's irreversible.
I think we've opened Pandora's box. I
Yeah.
do like what you're saying, and I like that thought process where it's like, and it might be, to be completely honest with you. So check it out. Like it's at one point there was all the news media channels, and then it was just like CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and then social media came out, and then it was like Pandora's box. So it might end up being where it's like instead of the MSNBC, Fox, CNN, it'll just be the different social media platforms.
Well, that's
Right.
kind of how it is right now, right?
So is that a pendulum swing or is that?
No, I'm talking about people just giving up on social media, saying, "Man, fuck this shit." And
I don't think
just
so.
Striking out, and there's already laws coming out where they're banning kids from it. So you got to think about like the next generation. If they ban kids under 18 to use social media, the newer generation is gonna grow up without it again, which never happened in 20 years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they might create something else. Obviously, like when you take something out, it has to be replaced with something else
Yeah.
eventually, you know.
Yeah.
So if that pendulum swing happens, there's got to be a force in the opposite direction. So you never know what's going to be there. I mean, you can create so many things with technology. It's just about like what people catch on to. And if the 18-year-old rule applies with social media,
Yeah.
they are going to replace it with something else. That's just my theory.
Yeah. I think it just because I think that I don't know. To be honest, bro, I think you're gonna have a hard time passing into law banning people on social media. I think they have a way of like banning like you can't look at this certain platform or like you can't be on like you can't look at these certain topics. But like you look at YouTube, like they got YouTube and they got YouTube Kids, like Netflix Kids, like.
But they're going to do they require your ID to be submitted.
Yeah.
So you have to be 18 to be on the platform.
Yeah. That's what they're
But then
talking
they'll
about.
make a different platform.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
then
Like,
all
it'll
the
be a
kids will go to
Facebook for
that.
kids, or like it'll be like they'll just go to Roblox. Like they're
It's-
already on Roblox.
They're gonna go to
anyways.
video games.
Yeah,
So like think about this. Do y'all remember that?
Maybe.
Did you ever grow up and like saw those like teen clubs?
yeah.
And
I
they-
went to some teen. Bro, I got some
and
crazy
so, like,
In
stories.
clubs? What
Yeah.
is that?
So like
Like Club Penguin?
No,
No.
like real
No.
clubs for teens.
so like obviously club now you go to the bar, you get drinks, dance floor.
Oh,
but
like
it's
a nightclub.
But it'd be like there you can go to the bar and get soda and there'd be a dance floor.
yeah,
And then
the
they would
hell?
still play music and then kids would like socialize.
they would twerk.
And now so it's like there's always a way to filter it for the younger generation. So that's
They have
just
that in Dallas?
they have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They still have that today. I remember going
Bro,
to one.
what?
I had so
That was
you
the
bet-
first time I ever like
Teen
realized
club?
I like girls.
Same.
I remember the exact moment I heard the song Cyclone. She move her body like a cyclone. I
At
was
the
like,
teen
okay,
club?
yeah.
How old were you,
What?
I was probably like 13,
dude?
maybe 12, 13.
Yeah, I went to a
I've
teen
never
club
heard
for
of
New
anything like
Year's when
that.
I was 13, and they literally had like this is like at the time you don't because I'm 13.
You don't really
I'm like,
know what it
like
is.
hell yeah, but like why are these adult men like escorting all these kids into this room where we literally had a twerking contest, and like the girls are like 13, like 15, like 17 years old, and like we're just kids, right? So we're like, oh hell yeah, like this is sick, man. Like I'm getting to grind and like do all like live this life that like I don't even think like as a kid like you really desire that. You just see it on TV, or at the time it was like
You
I
hear
saw
it
on
in
TV.
music. You hear
hear
it
it
in
in
That's
music.
straight up American shit, man.
Yeah,
Imagine being in
disgusting.
like a teen club and you get to like buy bottles of like soda.
Bro.
You get like
Oh, you pull up with the mug. Oh, it's over, bro. You got that pit bull on the label. It's like, yeah, baby.
They come out with
Check
like
that
lights
out.
and stuff. That's hilarious.
Flexing with some coke.
Yeah, literally, it's like I'm zero sugar over here, babe. It's like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? This is insane.
But yeah, and I saw a video today, so it was like stuff that people across the country definitely experience. And they have different names for it. They'd call it like Teen Night Out or Teen Night or
Yeah.
like Friday Night Lights. There was always like it was like once a week,
Yeah.
and they would have it at like the recreation centers or they would have it at like schools sometimes.
Wow.
They would literally like it's almost grooming us to
It is.
prepare for what's really gonna
That's
happen.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's literally what it is.
They're just trying to, get you ready for the nightclub, I guess.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, God help us. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you nailed it. It's preparing them for popping bottles and trying to live that life. And the problem with that is, bro, a club's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not selling Coke bottles for fucking $50,000 every single,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
They're probably selling it for $5 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you live that life as a teen, and you're like, like popping bottles, like shaking the Coke and putting Mentos in there, probably like just
Yeah,
making it
yeah,
go
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now you want to do that after you're 18.
Yeah.
So now you need to spend $20,000 at the club to live that lifestyle, to just continue going. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to go back.
I think it's mainly for the women though. Like it's not as much about the
For
drinks.
both.
It was more of like girls are for the first time they're out here shaking ass, and you're like, whoa, this is.
And then guys are witnessing it.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
experience for
It's
both.
only a select group of guys that are winning in that environment though. Like it's not like every guy who walks in the club who's like, oh man, this girl's shaking ass in there. It's like, bro, you're not walking out with any. You know what I mean? Like it's like I've been thinking a lot about like, you know, the idea of like where men is at as a whole, and it's like the top 1% are getting like most of the action. You know what I mean? But it's like it trickles down. And you think you're like, okay, women are incentivized to go do this, and they think that they have this sense of freedom, but really what they're doing is that they're eliminating their future. If that makes, like, I don't know what you think about that, where it's like women have more freedom now to do, you know, whatever they want to do sexually. It's not like they didn't have the ability to, but society and social media specifically have kind of like incentivized bad behavior.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, you can just go out, shake ass, do whatever you want, no repercussion. But the repercussion is you're not actually going to settle down with the man that you actually want. He's not going to be able to lead you because you're going to sleep around with all these other men that are strong candidates for like a home leader. But because you were so open, it's like you disqualified yourself.
Bro, but I think also, you know, because everyone
Can you bring
talks
that
about
closer?
this shit. Everyone talks about this shit. Bro, I talk to a lot of girls, and most of them are not about that whole shit. And you'll be surprised, bro. Like, you'll see something on social media. Obviously, it's going viral because it's rare.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So 1 out of every 10 girl you talk to is like that. But then you got to also think about it. The girls are watching this shit too.
Yeah.
So they're like looking at this shit. Imagine looking at a guy like homeless, like begging on the streets. You're thinking, why the fuck would I want to be like that? But he goes viral. Then everyone says, oh, all these guys are homeless. Like, that's not how the world is. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
I
you
just
talk
mean
to
in the
people in real
nightclub
life.
environment. In the nightclub environment, it is like that. But
That's
like in
where
the
I'm
real
at
world,
at
it's like,
usually.
yeah.
That's something that I can't even speak on because I'm not in the nightclubs.
Good,
But
good.
if you just talk to people like in general, on average,
I think you have a point. Where
you know,
it
like
depends
the
on where
average girl is not out here just shaking her ass and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
you're at. It depends on where you look. Yeah.
girls are trying to, you know, like half of them are nurses, the other half are, you know, like pediatricians or they're doing nails or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not all like that.
Yeah.
So
But that's just what's loud on social media. So then it turns our perception. Of things
no,
a
I
lot of
agree.
ways.
It like
dilutes
allows
our mindset.
allows like a girl that has, you know, those thoughts to just like take action, just like fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But
Because that pediatrician isn't on social media getting all the praise, so they don't realize.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, I just think on social media there's like a life that's being portrayed and it's done on purpose. It's not by accident, you know.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not trying to show this light of human beings and degeneracy on accident. This is done very purposely, and all of this is planned.
Yeah.
Who knows by who, you know,
Wow.
but it's planned for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
It's
Yeah,
human nature. It's kind
absolutely.
of like driving by and seeing a car accident, and everyone's just looking at the car accident.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like we all want to watch the car accident, whether we agree, because we all want to. We have
Well,
an
are you
opinion
gonna
on.
are you gonna be scared of driving? Is everyone gonna get in car accidents now?
Right.
Right, right. But that's the
like
thing.
that's
It's-
what you see.
It gets eyeballs though.
Yeah,
That's
it
the-
does.
that's my
It
only
gets
point.
eyeballs. And social media works in a certain way. They build their algorithms to make people just sit in watching it because obviously they have to make their money. It's a business.
Yeah.
You know, you guys heard about the TikTok algorithm? How it's different in America and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
It's
have heard
different
about
from
that.
America
Yeah.
as it is from
Bro,
like
so
China.
Check this out. So I studied cybersecurity in
Uh-huh.
school, and we took about who the biggest hackers are in the world, which is the Chinese government and
In
the
Russia?
American government.
Okay.
No, the two biggest. Russia's the next one.
Okay.
The two biggest are Chinese and American governments.
So China, America, Russia.
Yeah, like you're talking about. The
Dang, two of the top
NSA,
threes are like number
the
one enemy.
DoD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, hey, what's up, bro? You like,
They're on it, bro.
Yeah.
And we also took about a case study where Russia infiltrated Twitter from 2008 to 2014.
yeah.
And you got to think about how the world has been since 2008 and 2014. Because think about this: Twitter is
different world.
Twitter is a how should I say? It's Instagram but with words.
Yeah.
So when we
It's
talk
a
about
public
like, oh,
diary.
we see all this shit on Instagram.
People's dialogue is outputted.
Yeah.
So in
it's
Instagram,
that
it's harder
version,
to
but
convey
with
words. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like ideas
Yeah.
instead of just images.
Ideas, ideas are powerful.
So if you just look at like how the world evolved from 2008 to 2014, which is only 9 years or whatever, that it changed a lot. So that time there's been case studies and reports on Russian hackers just infiltrating Twitter. When I mean infiltrating, they're making a ton of fake accounts,
Yeah.
making things go viral, commenting on people's things, like purporting ideas in America's Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
So-
if I make this thing go viral and then I tie it back to like a political ideology, then I can have, now I have a weapon that I can shape.
Yeah.
That's a tool for me to use against people, like
yeah,
propaganda.
you're just pressing people's buttons.
Yeah.
So there's a like on Google, you can go and search how many times a word has been used over a period of time, and it was in like during it was like 2008, 2009, 2010. The words like triggered, trans, all these like
Yeah.
big words, you just saw it spike.
Yeah.
And that's probably when like the Russian farms and Chinese farms of
Yeah.
like developers or fake accounts spiked, and they're just saying, hey, go and infiltrate this propaganda. And then all that does is develop the young minds to see
Yeah.
that. Kind of back what we were saying, it's like, dang, should young people have access to social media? Because they're literally getting brainwashed.
Yeah.
And now they're
Yeah,
developing
I
up.
don't think so, bro.
You don't think
It's
so?
passive.
That they should have it or should not?
No, I think they should be banned until they're 18.
You know-
Social media.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. I think social media should be strictly business. Anything other than that is a waste of time for anybody.
Yeah, but then you can't really get in a point where it's like, now I'm gonna dictate what John wants to do with his time. It's like I can shame him and be like, bro, you're a fat ass. Like you need to get off the couch and like go lift some weights and
Yeah.
do something else. But it's like, I can't like that's his right as an American. I can't be like, bro, stop drinking beer. It's like if you want to drink a beer after work, like that's your prerogative.
Or like be like, this is the funny thing about freedom. Some people have the freedom to just sit on a computer and scroll all day, and it's not up to me to tell this other human being what they want to do with their time.
You know
I
what's
don't agree
crazy?
with it.
yeah.
You know what's crazy? I'm taking back what I said, because if social media was only business, then it wouldn't even work.
Right.
The only reason why social media works as a business is because it's not a business tool.
Because it didn't
Right.
start as a business tool,
Yeah,
and now
'cause,
it's
like, when
turning
you-
into it.
When you talk about marketing, it's all psychology. So you kind of, if people know they're just like, who the hell is gonna log into Instagram if they're just gonna get sold everything?
Exactly.
Everybody's selling a course.
That's why we left TV. I was
Yeah,
sick and tired of
exactly.
ads.
Yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't work like that. So it's got to be a brain rot tool
Yeah.
for everybody for it to work on business.
And I think
And there's
Amazon,
certain trends and tactics that you do to get people to click your page or whatever. But yeah.
Amazon's tried too, because they've done like there's like ats now on Amazon where it's like follow my list, and it's like I don't give a fuck what you're shopping for this
Yeah.
fall, Linda. Like get the
That's
fuck out. I
true.
don't give a shit. Like I want
Yeah.
these headphones. I want this like sound system. I want this speaker. Like I want this journal that I think's gonna have, like I don't
It's
give a fuck
getting
what you
harder,
want.
bro.
Like it's about me. Like
It's getting harder to sell shit online, bro.
well, because people subscribe to personalities,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone wants to be a personality, right? And it's like. Yeah, but like sometimes it's like, dude, you kind of don't deserve like a platform.
Bro,
So you can
this-
earn it, but like you
This-
don't deserve
That's
it.
exactly true what
Yeah.
you said, because the new age of selling is not company and website and logo and storefront. It's all about a person,
Yeah.
a story, like the personal brand.
Yeah.
That's the most powerful thing ever right now.
Bro, that's what I love. Like, I like Joe Rogan because of who he is.
Yeah.
I like Patrick Bet-David because of who he is. I don't follow news channels. I follow people whose resources I trust.
Exactly.
So I get my news from Value Team because I support Patrick Bet-David. Or what's that other guy's name? The Indian dude and that girl, Breaking Point. You know what I'm talking about?
Breaking Point USA?
Breaking Point USA, or no, that's Charlie.
Oh, Turning
Kirk.
Point USA.
Turning Point
with
USA.
Charlie.
I like Charlie Kirk, so I get information from. I like Candace Owens. I get information from her.
Yeah.
So it's like I pick people. I don't like Kamala Harris, so anything she says, I don't believe.
Yeah.
So
right,
it's like
right.
I pick people because of their track record, their trust, their credibility,
Yeah.
and then I use that to make my own decisions.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now, and people are losing trust in brands and companies Because I can whip up a website, I can whip up a logo, I can whip up ChatGPT to fucking print out all this content on my website and have something better than Nike's website
Right.
in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So is that trustworthy? Absolutely not. You need someone with a story. You need a real human being.
Yeah.
That's the most authentic thing right now because
Yeah.
everything's fake online.
See,
Yeah.
that's
So
what
I tell my
love.
salesmen,
Yeah.
when I have people selling for me, I don't tell them to sell the product. I don't tell them to sell my company. I say, just tell them you work for me. Show them
Yeah.
my Instagram. Show them my website.
I love that.
Tell them you work for me.
Leverage.
Yeah, exactly. So that they can study me, and then you can still get the commission. You can still make the
Exactly.
sale. You know what I mean?
But then it rubs off where it's like I think people have their ego invested in it too much where it's like, well, why should I keep giving him the credit? It's like, well, because he did the work that
You have the
left
proof
you
of
the
concept.
platform to
Just
be able
start
to
your
take
own fucking
advantage.
company.
You have the
Start
proof
your
of
own-
concept.
Yeah, start
Yeah.
your own fucking company. Why are you coming to me asking me to sell? Why are you trying to sell my stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Start your own company.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. Just fucking make an account and make a website and put your story out there. That's
And
what
if I'm
doing.
around you long enough though, and if I have that mindset, then eventually it's like I'm gonna learn from you how to do that. So
Yeah,
then I
exactly.
can go do it myself, and it's like that's the biggest honor to show you is that it's like, hey, bro, what you taught me was so valuable. Thank you so much for the leverage. Like it's like paying you in advance.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna help make this money off of it, but like you're
But
showing me what to
also-
do in the future.
Also, you're only in comparison to others if you're just selling the same thing. Like if I make websites and you make websites and you're selling for me, then you have the right to say, well, fuck Osama. I want to go
Right.
sell my own websites.
Right.
But like, let's say you sell marketing.
Mm.
Now you can be a personal brand and I can be a personal brand and we can work together.
Yeah.
Because I can go to someone that I built a website for and say, look, I'm partnered with this guy. He does marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could do the same thing. Someone came to you for some ads.
Yeah.
Say, look, I'm partnered with this guy. He does websites.
Yeah. You need one. You need a
So
landing
if you
page.
build this team of personal brands, it's exactly like Nike selling an underwear, selling shoes, selling a basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
But it's personal brands, like a mixture of, like a clusterfuck of all these personal brands. You know what I mean?
It's like one main identity, and then there's like branches. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like I always think about like there's Disney and then there's like Marvel and Star Wars, like all these little umbrella companies that are like underneath that.
Yeah, and Ara said something too that's crazy because he said if Kamala Harris said something because he doesn't like her, anything she says is disqualified.
Right. Yeah.
You guys want to hear some crazy shit?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you guys know what's happening in Palestine right now, right?
Yeah.
I do.
yeah.
I do.
Bro, why do Americans hate Palestinians? Muslims.
Bro, because they think that Palestinians are bombing Israel.
No, but
Or you go,
Americans are Christians, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Palestinians are Christians and Muslims.
Right.
Right.
So who's the common enemy, right?
Muslims.
It's Muslims versus Jews right now in this war,
Yeah.
right? But Jews are not with Christians.
Right.
Right.
And I've been
Right.
saying for a while, Muslims and Christians, like PBD says, need to unite forces because at
That's
the
what I'm
same time,
saying.
it's like, why am I like literally like this right here, Muslim, Christian, we
That's what
stand
I'm
on a
saying.
lot
You
of the same
Muslim? You
beliefs.
Muslim?
Yeah, a Muslim.
Muslim. There you go.
Dude, and this is the thing. This is what people like. No one's heard of this shit. I'm so surprised. No one's heard of the third temple. You guys know what the third temple is?
No, but now I'm like, now you've
You know
really
what the
done it. I'm
third
like,
temple
open
is?
up,
I
bro.
don't.
Tell me about this.
Dude, look. The third temple is what Jews are trying to resurrect the Antichrist, which Christians and Muslims believe as the
Okay.
Antichrist. The third temple has been their agenda since the beginning of time, before Jesus, before everything. They want to resurrect, or they want to bring up their Messiah. That's what Jews believe, and that's what their agenda is. And they're trying to use the Holy Land for Christians, Muslims, and Jews, the Holy Land, Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it. That's where all the biblical stories happen.
Right.
You know, Jesus
Bible
of
speaks on
Nazareth.
this, right?
Yeah, it's biblical.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the agenda from way back in the day. But no one knows what the third temple is, apparently. Like, it's so surprising to me. So that's exactly what they're trying to do. And what I was going to say is, what's happening with the recent wars since October 7th, they flooded TikTok with a bunch of videos on Palestine.
Yeah.
Right?
So like boost the algorithm to get people to like
Who's on TikTok?
kids,
Kids.
Kids,
teenagers,
liberals, all these
Yeah.
weirdos.
Yeah.
TikTok
just
made
sit
them
at
liberal.
home. And what happened, bro, because I was in California, right? in California,
What
free
time?
Palestine. This is before,
Okay.
but this is like what I'm telling you that they're doing, and this is how they get Christians to be against Muslims,
Okay.
as they get people that are atheists, like liberals and like gay people,
Yeah.
people that just don't believe in shit. They're just
Yeah.
like living in a.
We're
in a-
scientific, and it's like
cloud.
we're living in a. It's like shut the fuck up.
Bro, so listen, in California, they had this movement, and it's a bunch of gay people that do this, bro. They say free Palestine for everybody.
What does that mean?
Which, for some reason, they think, like, I don't know why, I don't know how they got them to believe this thing, but, like, they think that Palestine is, like, being oppressed by some people, and people aren't allowed to live free, you know,
Yeah, or they have
or
this.
express their emotion. That's what they think of it. So they say free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. So you go to a Palestinian protest, you see a bunch of gay people
Yeah.
say
Queers for Palestine.
Queers for Palestine.
It's like,
Bro,
who the fuck cares?
You go to
How the fuck
Palestine
did
as
this
a
happen?
queer, you're dying.
Yeah, I was gonna say
100%.
these people don't
That's-
actually
we
like
don't-
you.
we don't-
They don't want
Where's
you
the camera?
there.
We don't support this shit. That these people are brainwashed. So this is what
It's
they're
fucking
doing.
crazy, bro.
This is what they're doing, and you got to understand how the world works is through psychology. So these people, they get like Kamala Harris and people like that to support Palestine. So like any random person that's sane and that believes in God and that's Christian, he looks at that and says, "Oh, he supports Palestine. Fuck Palestine.
Right.
Fuck him and Palestine.
Yeah.
I don't even care what it is. I don't even want to look it up."
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you look up what's going on right now, there's no reason for you to sit there and say, "Oh, well, yeah, Israel's defending itself."
There's literally
reason.
no fucking
Bro,
point,
there's
yeah.
all the evidence on the internet. Everything is on the internet right
So
now.
true.
So you have to stop that from happening. So you get these idiots to support it, and then
Yeah.
you say, "Well, fuck you and fuck Palestine."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the problem is, it's
And then
like,
you never look it up ever in your life. You just live this moment. And then once you say that, even if it's in your face, you're gonna be like, "Well, that gay guy." Like I
You
don't
tie
know,
it back to the gay shit.
you start defending it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well,
that's how it happens.
I just think about like
It's brainwashing.
follow the money trail. It's like, okay, if you go like start at the beginning, it's like I'm an average American. I make 100 grand a year. I want to be able to buy a house. I can't afford a house. Inflation's at an all-time high. I'm getting taxed out the ass. Where's my tax money going to?
Yeah.
Why is most of my money going to Israel? The only reason Israel's able to defend itself is because we keep giving these government kickbacks. A lot of our tax dollars is going over there. Like, we funded their entire military militia that they have to be able to be in this conflict in the first place.
The Iron Dome cost like $5 billion.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
we paid for.
You guys gotta understand, like we're living in a Jewish-made country.
Yeah.
You understand
Hey,
like what's
Aiden,
going on
it's-
right now?
Yeah,
We've
you
been
see me
talking
over here,
about
I'm
this.
like, I like
Bro,
We've been
this
talking
this,
about
conversation.
this country works on being the bully
Yeah.
of the world. So I see a lot of people online saying, "Oh yeah, they supported this," but the homeless people, like, no one gives a fuck about homeless people, bro. Like, that's their problem.
Hmm.
If America wants to stay alive, they need to support Israel. And
Yeah.
that's just how it works. That's how it's been working.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing all of this. Bro, like, if you look at George Washington, and even before America was alive, these people were all in these secret Jewish societies.
These are like the Zionists and like
yeah,
all
bro.
that.
This is all like planned. Like even way before America existed.
Well, you look at like who like runs the media nowadays, right? It was
Yeah,
like
Ben Washington, all of these people that even started America, bro. They were all in these hidden Jewish societies, bro.
You're thinking of George Soros?
No, I'm thinking of I can't remember which one of the founding fathers it was, but like it kind of went viral because he had a whole quote about like the Constitution looks great, but the people that need to be excluded is like they specifically talked about the Jews because it's like, hey, if you look at history, everywhere they go, they turn like let's say America's one big culture, right? And then we allow everybody to come in. It's one big country now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain religions and certain ideologies within that it's like, but my views clash with your views. My views clash with your views. What he said specifically, I think it's Jefferson who said this. Jefferson was talking about like anywhere the Jews go, they create their own society. They create their own government. So it's like they're within themselves outside of America. And it's like, hey, we got to do whatever we got to do to make sure that our culture succeeds. It's not about America. It's about us and it's about like motherland. So like we got to go in and like infiltrate like CNN and like Fox and like New York Times and all these companies, it's like you look at where the main media comes from that like most liberals I would say get their information. Like if you look at the top of the command, it's like it's all like Jewish people.
So let's say that is
bro,
the case.
look at any single company in the world right now, like any top company. Go look at the Hollywood, the media. Go just follow their trail of ownership, because they're all companies owned by different companies, and then you follow every single thing that's happening right now. Any big company, they're all owned by Jews, and you got to understand how Jews work and how they created this system. They owned money before even money existed.
The banking system.
The
through
banking
the Rothschilds.
system. The banking system. Yeah, and anyone that's Muslim understands that, like, I can kill someone if I murder my friend, my neighbor.
Right.
That's still not even as bad as me working with the banks, which is called riba, like interest and doing all this stuff. And that's because if I kill you, bro, you were gonna die anyways. I just sped up the process.
Okay.
But interest fucks up society in a whole. Generational, bro. So that's way worse.
They're pretty like the Jewish people are like pretty infamous for like, hey, I'm gonna give you super high inflation, but like my brother like loan at no charge.
What's your thoughts on interest? Because
I don't do it. I don't have credit cards. Everything I buy is cash, and I don't plan on getting a loan or mortgage or any of that.
What's the thought process behind that? I'm just curious, like as a Christian, because I've heard
like I'm not relying on some Jew to give me money. I'm gonna go work for it.
What if
it's working so good for me right now?
What if the interest is your interest that you're gaining, and it's not against anyone else? It's you're just collecting. Do you use stocks?
No. I don't buy.
What if you buy a house?
Crypto.
Your house is gonna.
I'll buy it, bro. I don't.
The house will gain interest.
Bro, that's like, I'm very different from everyone else, man. I don't plan on buying a house. I don't believe in like the equity theory where it's like after 30 years I'll have equity. All of that interest stuff, to me, it's as if it doesn't exist. I think of the world very, very transactional. Like if you want something, if I want that table, I'm gonna pay cash for it, and that table is mine forever, unless I sell it again. Right? That's how business has been going on for years and years and years since the beginning of time. So the idea of like, oh no, well, you can have the table, but why don't you sign this contract and just give me $10 right now, and then I'll come back to you in a week. And like, that's just pimping, bro. At the end of the day, that's just pimping him out.
It is, but at the same time, it's
so like, bro, and you know what the Prophet Muhammad said about interest? Bro, it's like committing adultery with your own mother. Now that's a fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
But think about it deeply. How much of a bitch are you gonna feel like if someone's pimping you out?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
bro, you're gonna feel like a bitch.
Being in debt is one of the worst
bro,
feelings.
you feel like a bitch. Like right now, I let my balls hang because I don't have debt.
I feel like a slave.
I don't have credit cards. I work for my cash. I work fair and square. My services are never about, interest or, like loans or whatever. Like my services are straightforward. This is what it costs. This is what I'll do for you.
Yeah.
So I don't have that feeling.
Yeah. I think that I get your point of view. I guess what I would say to that is just more like, well, if you're smart about your investments and you're smart with your finances, there's ways to leverage like interest against them. And there's ways to be like, hey, yeah, I know you're going to, make me pay interest on like this credit card or whatever, but like if I'm paying it off on time and like I'm stacking it up with like my business and I can write everything off, then it's like I'm building miles, like I'm building all these rewards that I can use, that it's like now I can go take advantage of their system and go use it to leverage to be able to make more money.
But you could buy all of that with cash.
Yeah, you could, but I guess it's like
it's not like you can't travel if you don't have points. You just pay the cash.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you had the cash, you can just do the same thing you can with interest, loans, whatever.
Would you say that? Would you ever use infinite banking in your favor?
What do you mean infinite banking?
So like you could put money inside a life insurance policy, and that policy's gaining interest, growing money, and then you can borrow against it and then go purchase something.
Probably not.
But that interest is like, so do you use stocks?
No.
So you don't buy stocks.
I have crypto.
But so crypto you can gain just like when the market goes up and down in crypto, right?
Yeah,
So
I
stocks is
understand
the
all
same-
of that. I
Stocks is the
understand.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
So the life insurance policy is the same thing. So it can grow when the market grows.
No, I understand like how all of that works. To me, then this is just the way that I see the world, right? And this is very rare. I don't ever meet anyone that sees the world the same way. When I make my money, like if I have $1,000 in my pocket right now, I don't feel comfortable if I didn't make someone happy enough to give me that money. Dude, I have clients, and because of the podcast sake, I didn't explain exactly what I do, but I build apps for people. And these apps are very valuable to the people that I supply them to because they're using that to run their business.
Right.
For example, I have a person right now that's been running his business off Microsoft Excel. So what he would do is he'd wake up early in the morning, he'd go to his office, he'll start writing up all the jobs on Word documents, copying it, pasting it into his Microsoft Excel sheet, printing that out, and then putting it up on the wall so his employees can see it. So he had this whole manual process.
Yeah.
So I built him a system that streamlines the whole thing. He can run it off his phone. So he can chill at his house, post the jobs that he gets from his email, and his employees have accounts on that software so that they can see it. So he can run his whole business from his phone now. He's now able to retire. The dude's like 65 years old, not tech savvy. He's been having this business for 30 years. And that's why he's doing it like that.
Right.
So this guy called me out of the blue. And I'm expecting, like him to ask me something about the software. He called me and said, "Listen, man, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart." Like straight up. He just called me to thank me because he was doing shit and he was like, "Man, this is so amazing."
You had a
bro."
problem, you solved it, you gave him value.
And you got to think about it like this, because this is also a theory that I have, and it's a powerful saying. If you want to make money and you want to really, really get blessed with that money, like you want barakah, which is like a blessing, you want to be able to get the lesser end of the deal. So look, Steve Jobs, right? I think I told you this when I met you. Steve Jobs made iPhones. Okay, what did he get from that deal? Like, he gave the world iPhones, the world got iPhones, he gave the world iPhones. That was the deal. What did Steve Jobs get?
Profit.
Yeah, profit. You got
Some
paid
billion,
for him.
maybe $1 billion the last 10 years of his life,
Yeah.
right? How much did the world gain from iPhones?
Way more.
Oh, yeah, a
way
lot.
more than
Yeah,
a
way
billion
more.
of evaluation.
It changed
Bro,
the entire
fucking
world.
trillions.
Yeah.
It's probably like
Bro,
zillions, like all
trillions,
the
and it's
future
still
money.
going. Like
Yeah.
50 years from now, it's gonna be zillions.
Mm.
So what he got was the lesser end of the deal. So his money was recurring. It just kept coming in. It just, like, God blessed it, bro. God blessed it, because everyone's out there thinking, man, thank God for Steve Jobs.
Right.
I made this app. I made $1 million. I would have never been a millionaire. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a nerd. I just coded this app. I would have never been able to do that. Steve
Yeah.
Jobs, thank you, God. So it's like that energy is all encompassing, and it goes back to him. So I want to be like that. I don't think of like trading stocks to be the good way to make money, because someone has to lose for me to get money off interest or money off trading stocks. Someone's losing. Someone's on their phone trying to trade and losing the trade, like his whole life savings, and he's like smashing his phone. He's like, fuck the guy that fuck the guy that won that trade. So
Yeah.
like that energy is like bad energy.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. And
that's almost a form of gambling, and I don't gamble. I don't like gambling.
yeah, it is. And bro, the way that I see it, like if I'm on the beach just homeless and I can just like do like performances and shit like that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Bro, that's better than fucking making money off interest and, you know, having someone lose over that. Like, at least I'm putting a smile on someone's face, you know?
But I think It's an interesting point. There are some. I think there's some interests that people don't lose in.
Maybe so, but I put all my energy onto just doing what I do and living my purpose, providing people with a service that helps them forever. Because when I give someone a software they run their business on, and I charge them $500 a month, that $500 a month is mine forever.
Right.
Forever. As long as their business is alive, I'm getting $500 a month for it. And it's not by interest, or it's not by accident, or it's not by, like making them, or like scheming them or fucking them over. It's by providing them something that's helping them. So I'm big into that.
It's equal value, or I would say, a value exchange.
Because then I would say, but
not
then,
equal.
Not equal, yeah.
I'm getting the lesser end.
Yeah.
Like, I want $1 million, so I'm gonna make sure he gets $1 billion.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting concept that I'm gonna go and implement in my life.
Yeah, and when I started thinking about that, that's when shit changed for me. Because I used to sell drugs. When I came to America, I was like, how does America work? Okay, he has 7 girls, right? The girl that I like is with this guy. What does he do? Oh, he sells weed? Bro, like, to me, weed was crazy. So I was 13 and I wanted money. I understood that money can buy me things. Money is, going to give me some different life, whatever. So I couldn't get a job. I knew people that smoked. I knew people that sold. So that's like the only option I had for making money. There wasn't any other option. So that's exactly what it came down to. And bro, like, there's no blessing in that.
Did it work?
It worked, then it didn't work. Then I tried it again. Round 2 worked, then it didn't work. Round 3 worked, then it didn't work. Bro, there's no blessing in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, name one drug dealer that's like happily ever after.
Yeah.
They're all dead in jail.
I was downtown. This was like a month ago, and I remember this conversation I had. There's this like young kid. He's standing on the corner. I'm walking into this place because I was with some friends, and they were like, "Hey, let's go get some chicken, some rice, whatever." I was like, "All right, whatever." Gas station's next door. I walk in because I'm like, I just want some electrolytes. I'm like, I'm good. But this kid standing outside, like, door a backpack. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I know what the deal is. I'm like,
2010 era. Right?
yeah. I walk up to him and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, can I ask you a serious question? And he was like, what's up, man? But like, I'm dressed in like a nice suit, and like, I'm in a bad part of Dallas, so he's looking at me like this fucking like Fed or something. And I'm talking to him like, what's the end goal with this? Like, let's say you make it. Like, is this what you want to be known as, or like, where do you see this taking you? He said, man, I'm just trying to make some extra money. I was like, what do you do right now? He's like, I work in construction. I was like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 17. So you're 17 and you work in construction. And I was like, and you do this to make money. So you're not making enough money in construction. Like, it's harder work, but like, at least you're building something. Like, here, you're not doing anything. Like, someone's probably going to come up to you one night, have probably one of the worst days of their life. Their girlfriend just left them. All they're looking forward to is this release. Maybe they just got fired. Like, you're the last, maybe, someone pisses them off on the way here, and it's like they take their anger out on you. Like, you're dead that night. Like, what's the point of doing this? Like, you're feeding into people's bad habits. You don't get anything out of that.
Yeah, and you don't think about that when you're doing anything wrong. You're never thinking about what could happen. You're just like focused on the good part.
Focus on the task. Like,
focused on
immediate.
money.
Yeah.
I want money. This is okay. I saw this guy making money. Let me just go try it out.
When did you stop thinking about getting money to providing value?
It's always been about money.
But now you're saying you want to get the lesser end. So how did that?
No, but that's because I want money, and I understand that that's going to make the money there forever. So, like, I've never gone stray away from money. I've always needed money. I've been broke, homeless. I've been at the lowest lows. It's never been not about money. Tell me, bro, if your landlord comes and says, hey, I want rent, and then you tell him, well, I don't have your money, but I made this guy a bunch of money, is he going to give a shit?
No.
It's about money.
Bro, no one gives a fuck about anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's why, if you want to make sure the money's going to come in every single month, just give other people money or make other people money. Give them a reason to make money.
Bro, that's crazy.
Like, bro, I want to deal with people that make money because I want to take it all. I want to take it all. Listen, if I make you $50,000 extra a month, just give me 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that money will come in forever. Like, it won't stop.
Yeah.
Not only will they keep giving you money, they'll give you referrals. Dude, I have people bragging like, "Oh, look at the software, look at the website you built me." You know what I mean?
Right.
And then just people hit me up out of nowhere. "Hey, I heard you got a website," or, bro, that's how it works, bro.
That's how business works. Yeah.
That's how good business works. You know what I mean? You just make sure you're providing good service. That money will come in forever. It won't stop. It'll never stop.
Go back
You
to
build a book. You do a good podcast, right? Let's say I go viral for 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like, you don't think that's gonna have a long-lasting effect
Right.
forever?
It's like, hey, bro, can you come back?
Forever?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's basically how it works. Like, hey, when do we do this again?
Bro,
You know?
I'm telling you.
And that's my intent with this, right? It's like I want to bring people on, have them have a good experience, so that you leave here and you're like, that was fun, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that feeling will always come back in referrals or business or whatever. I want to go back to your story. So
Yeah.
you moved back to America. You're growing up here. What was it like from 2010 to when you first started your business?
Like I said, I was making money on the streets. I was doing Facebook Marketplace. I used to buy and sell cars. I've never had a corporate job in my life. That's never been me. I've always been the type of guy to get a job for like 2 months as like a waiter, rack in that money, try to get some clients while I'm at my job, and then dip. You know, as soon as I have enough money to just fund my business, I'm out. You know.
What was your
So
first business?
My first business was my car business.
Car business. Okay, like buying and
Legit,
selling
like a
Facebook.
legit business was the car business. Yeah, I used to buy and sell cars. I went and got a garage, so I fixed them and I flipped them. Which, I mean,
You fix them yourself, or you had like
yeah, I
staff?
fixed them myself.
Yeah.
YouTube, bro. Everything's on YouTube, and that started because I got a car, and I had to fix it because it was a shitty car.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
like, I started with YouTube. I had to fix it, or else I don't have a car. So I learned that way, and then I ended up just figuring I could make some money out of it.
Yeah.
And
You know something that no one else knows how to do. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can sell that.
No, you just know something that people are willing to pay for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
It's not even that
haircuts.
nobody else knows. It's just that you're willing to put the work in,
Yeah.
and people are willing to pay for it.
I can
Yeah,
cut
and-
my own hair, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I want to pay this person to cut
Dude,
my
and
hair.
that's the power with YouTube right now. There's like, even if you can learn how to paint a picture, bro, there's someone that wants a picture painted for them. There's someone out there that wants a picture painted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't want to do YouTube.
Yeah.
They just want to pay.
Yeah.
So like anything you can learn on YouTube is money making, 100%.
Yeah.
Bro, and this is what's crazy. What you learn with software and building apps, what you learn in school right now, is so outdated. That shit does not make money.
Yeah.
It only makes money if you get a job, and that job pays you to manage their outdated system.
Well, it makes the government money because people become
Yeah.
taxable, and then that's their interest. Is like,
So think about it like this, right? Let's say in school they only taught you how to build cars from the or how to fix cars from the 90s.
Yeah.
right.
Right? And all these businesses that operate right now, they've had their cars from the 90s. But no school teaches you how to fix cars from the 2020s,
Right.
which is like now. So like if you can fix a car from the 2020s as an entrepreneur, you're going to be golden.
Yeah.
Right.
But like if you wanted a job, no one's going to hire you because all the businesses, their cars are from the 2010s.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
the 1990s.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for them to even pay you anything
Right.
because you're not valuable to them. So schools will teach you outdated systems because a corporation, for them to have this complex database structure, for them to migrate just different databases, like let's say you had a Google Sheets drive, you wanted to switch it over to a Microsoft drive. That for a corporation, enterprise that's processing trillions of data sets every second, that's not doable. You can't do that because that means you have to stop all operations for like 2 weeks, and that means billions and billions and billions of dollars gone,
Yeah.
and billions of data sets gone, which data is more important than money nowadays, because if you miss a day's worth of data, man, your whole algorithm's fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like you got to rely on all this data. So you can't just migrate databases and keep switching to the new thing. So I build apps with no code. No complete, like I've departed from coding.
Okay.
I don't do coding.
So what does that mean?
That
Someone who
means
doesn't like understand like coding versus non-coding.
so look, so every single computer works on, like you have your motherboard and they pulse electrical shocks into this chip, and that chip will understand the shocks based on, like if I shock it, it's a 1. If it's not shocked, it's a 0. So it's ones and zeros right
Okay.
now, like the computers that we have today.
Mhm.
So ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros, like millions of them every single millisecond. Now, how does a computer process that? It works on layers. So you have like the assembly language, which is like taking the ones and zeros and processing it into something understandable. Then you have like coding languages, you have operating systems on top of that as a layer, like JavaScript or Python. The new layer that's right now is what's called no-code platforms. So it's kind of like Shopify. I don't know if you guys ever
Yeah, I
fucked
know
around with
Shopify.
Shopify.
Mhm.
Shopify is a no-code website builder for marketplaces. You just
Okay.
like drag and drop, drag and drop. But underlying that is code,
That's the
obviously.
code, yeah.
It has to be coded. There's some code in
They just
there.
added a layer to the assembly.
But if you build a system that's basically like you can build apps and then the code is already handled for you,
Yeah.
then it's a game changer. Because right now I can build an app in days.
Okay.
The same app that would take years and hundreds of thousands of dollars and a team of developers and nerds and database structures and all this, that would take years. This takes me weeks, and it's me. That's it. So I'll charge a business $15,000, something that they wouldn't pay $100,000 and wait a year for.
Right.
Because like if I told you, oh, you need a CRM system,
Yeah.
okay, just give me $100,000 and wait 2 years. Versus, give me $15,000 and wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then it's worth it. Then they're like, now they're interested.
Yeah.
So it's like a game changer right now. They don't teach this in school.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
That's not taught, and probably until another like 20, 30 years.
And
40
that's what
years.
you're talking about. No code is so new that the school systems are not at
Yeah.
that level to teach it.
Put it in this perspective, right? AI, people think AI is a new thing. Like, oh my
AI's
God,
been around
ChatGPT.
since like
The
before the
90s,
80s,
bro.
even before the 80s. There
before,
was a
before, bro, like all of this shit is
Yeah.
old technology.
I think they just think like the new concept of like AI that's more so done in like the form of like a
Dude, technology
Siri
is
or
not created
something.
in school.
Right.
Technology is created by creatives
Yeah.
that take whatever they learn at school and say, man, fuck this shit. Let me see how I can make it better.
Yeah.
That's how technology is created.
Yeah.
And then once there's proof of concept, because they're not going to just take any idiot's idea.
Mm.
You have to have a proof of concept. You have to make money from it first. Then you have to have something like ChatGPT, something user-friendly that any idiot can use, and you know that's going to make money because now everyone wants AI after ChatGPT.
right.
Before ChatGPT, if you told someone, hey, I have a robot that you can talk to, they'd be like, what the hell? What is iRobot? What is this, 2094? I don't want to do that. Like, that's scary. It's creepy. After ChatGPT, they made it, like, friendly. They made it user-friendly, and they had this nice interface, and they made it funny a little. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, like,
Yeah.
now it's, like, okay for you to talk to a robot. Now they're
Yeah.
releasing real-life robots, bro.
Go like
Fucking
this.
Tesla.
Go like this.
Yeah, I was gonna tell Caesar. I was
Tesla,
like,
bro.
Caesar, cut. Now let's get back.
Bro, but like you gotta understand, like Tesla's releasing robots right now from like
Yeah.
ChatGPT being
Yeah.
mainstream 4 years or not even 4 years ago, 2 years ago, bro.
They literally went from ChatGPT to a robot with ChatGPT incorporated so that
Yeah,
can walk
bro.
around
now
and
there's
do
a
everything.
real life robot. You can just buy a robot and the shit will do your chores for you and everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I'm getting one.
That's how
I'm not
fast-
trying to make my bed or do laundry.
Okay, here's the thing,
that's how
bro.
fast it happens.
So I've got a friend. I'm not gonna name him, but he's watching and he knows who he is, and I think he's fucking insane. Like I think he's stupid as fuck for
Is this
opinion.
live, by the way?
No.
No.
Oh.
I mean, just mean like when this is up, I know he's watching it, and he knows that I think his opinion's fucking dumb. Okay, let's say AI gets to a point of like iRobot or like Terminator, like one of these, these fucking like Hollywood movies that it's like the robot's there, but they're kind of like a human. Do you view that as something that deserves rights or no?
Oh man, that's crazy.
I'll tell you I don't think it deserves rights, and I don't think it deserves like any type of empathy or anything, and I'll tell you why. So, if I pay, like, let's say my homeboy, he can't get laid. Like, he can't get laid for shit. Everybody's got a friend that's like, fuck, dude, I just pray this motherfucker gets some pussy. Like, I pray this motherfucker gets some pussy. He can't get laid.
You gonna throw the robot at him?
It's not the robot, but like, let's say we're in Mexico, right? I'm walking down the street. I'm like, hey, ladies, my homeboy, he needs to get it done. Like, here's a couple $100. Like, go take care of him. But now I don't tell him about it. He thinks that these ladies are in love with him and they just fucked him because like they fell in love with him.
But they're robots?
No. I'm saying, but like, no, just take this as an example. Like, I got a friend, he can't get laid. I find 2 hookers. I pay them. They go have sex with him. I don't tell him that I do this. So he has a false sense of what their intentions were. Their intentions were I programmed them to go fuck him for money. And that was what their task was. He doesn't have any idea that I programmed them to do that. So he thinks that these girls just want to fuck him because they love him, or they find him attractive, but they don't because I paid them to do it. So now he has a false sense of what this intention is. So let's say I program AI to be like this beautiful woman or like a dude, and like I give them emotion, like I program emotions into them to like be like compelling. You know what I mean? It's like that doesn't mean that they're now a human or that they deserve rights. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Bro, I don't know, man, but if my AI robot starts acting up, I'm turning that shit off.
That's what I'm saying.
Fast, bro.
Why would I program something with... Because humans, we're imperfect, right? Like, none of us here in this room are perfect. Like, I'm going to go fuck up some more in life. Y'all probably will too. Like, I fucked up already in life. Like, I've done little things because it's like, everybody's different, right? So, like, everyone has like these little... Like, there's these milliseconds of decisions that we make. Why would I purposefully program something that defaults into like negativity or like cynicism in a robot that now like I don't know, like could like spiral out of control or like turn into some like iRobot type shit, like
yeah,
why would I do that?
A robot's not human.
Why would I do that?
A robot's not even like a pet. Like pets, I think you can't like hurt a pet and like you get animal control and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, robots are below that. Because I have like the Roomba vacuum thingy.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
not
robot.
A pet.
Or like a fridge. Like, what are we talking about? You can have ChatGPT on your fridge. That doesn't mean it's a human. Or it doesn't mean that it gets the rights of a human.
But you know what's crazy? Everyone's scared of AI. AI is already at its peak. You guys know what quantum computing is?
I do.
No, I have no idea.
I do. Quantum computing is insane. I don't know like the details maybe like you do.
That's gonna
what is
scare
quantum
the shit
computing?
out of people.
So like
I'm ready to get scared.
let me say what I think it is, and you add
go
on
ahead.
top of it. So
Go
like quantum computing is like, how a computer like how you load stuff on your phone, it takes time because it's processing. A quantum computer would do it instantly. Like anything you need is done instantly. So like you can process like crazy amounts of data instantly. Okay. So I don't know, is that right?
Yeah, 100%. But it's more than that. So look, quantum science, that's predicting the future.
Yeah,
right?
I think
So
about like
physics,
Marvel.
so physics, like Einstein physics, he was able to take the past and tell you what's gonna happen.
Right.
Now imagine you don't have the past. Let's say you want to predict the future
with no
with
no past.
with nothing.
Okay.
It's literally impossible. They found out that the way that the world works, it's off probabilities.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't predict these probabilities. So what they decided was, obviously, like there's a bunch of different physics concepts like thermodynamics, right? So heat is what makes something real, right?
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look. Let me finish, right? So heat is what makes something real, right? That's what gives it a state.
Okay.
Right? So like right now I'm in the state of this chair, right? That's because I've came here and I've done motion is heat, right? So when you want to measure a quantum state, which basically means it doesn't have a state yet, it's still like undecided. It's just like maybe this, maybe that. Probability.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's very cold. It's like frozen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you freeze something, it just doesn't live.
Yeah.
So quantum computing is a chip that's like this big,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a huge ass fucking refrigerator looking thing. And it's all working to freeze this chip close to like 0 Kelvin, which is basically like unalive.
Right.
So
Like it's beyond what like any human could like
Yeah.
withstand.
So basically, they run these algorithms when the chip is like that cold, and they can. So what I explained earlier, how computers work off ones and zeros. This thing doesn't work off ones and zeros.
Right.
It works off probability. It could be 1, could be 0, could be this, could be that. You know, so
And
like
it runs
they,
all the probabilities.
yeah, it runs all those probabilities at one time, and then what they do is they collapse the state, which, you know, they put heat into it, and that makes it something. So it's a very, very, by the way, like this sounds complicated as shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
Scientists that are studying it, they don't even know why they're studying it.
because
They're like, why the hell why is this true? Well, nothing else is true. This, like, they don't even understand it yet.
How do they figure this out? Like, how do they find this?
Bro, because
You just
it's
test
all
a
off
bunch of
theory.
different
It's all
shit.
off theory. It's called the Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's a scientist nerd.
Man, fuck Schrodinger.
What he said, you know him?
No.
Bro, okay, so look. So this is his theory, right? He had a cat in a box, and this is like the famous quantum theory. He had a cat in a box, and he's like, okay, if I put like a poison, like chemical in there, will the cat be dead or not? And then they realized you cannot predict it. And then they went and did the split wave theory or the slit theory or whatever it's called.
I know what you're talking about. Where they try to observe a particle.
The particles.
And then the
yeah.
particle's
Oh, and
either
it
there or
moves.
it's not there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so this is the thing, right?
And then when you
You'll never
observe it,
know-
it's not there.
You'll never know
Right.
what's the state of something unless you observe
There
it.
it is, yeah.
Unless you measure it, which basically means put heat to it.
But then isn't the
Put a
action of
state
me
to it.
observing it, like, doesn't that change what it is?
Exactly.
it
Yeah,
does.
yeah, exactly.
Because
It's a-
like
it's a
like I can look
crazy,
over here and I'm not looking
weird-
at you, but then I'm like,
No one understands it, but they're just like, fuck it, let's just make some theories about it. That's how science is right now. So they took that whole phenomenon and they put it into a computer state, which is quantum computing, which works like a fucking motherfucker. Bro, it's so crazy. They ran algorithms on it. What takes the strongest supercomputer 37 years, like an algorithm, just a regular algorithm,
yeah.
takes the strongest supercomputer 37 years. Quantum computer did it in like 1 second or less than 1 second.
That's
Another
insane.
thing that quantum computing can do is like you can program cells with quantum computers, and then those cells can go be put inside a human being, and then they can go and like
Whoa.
attack cancer, or they
Yeah,
can go
yeah,
and
yeah.
do different like
That's-
things biologically too. So like quantum computing isn't just on like the physical chip; it can be imprinted in like biologicalness. So you can create like literally bionic humans.
Yeah.
So like, and it's like when the internet is born, you don't
Fuck,
realize what
man.
the internet can do. So when quantum computing is born, you don't realize what it can do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
we're
definitely gonna.
we're cooked, bro. We are fucking done, guys. Thanks for watching the show. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like, what do we like? Seriously though, like, as humans, like, how do we keep up with this?
Pretty
Like, how do
dope,
we
man.
not
Same-
make something that takes over
It's
us?
a race to the bottom, bro. That's what it is, man. The world's gonna end before all these answers are even, or all these questions are answered. The world's just gonna end.
When do you think the
No.
world's gonna end?
I don't know.
when the Jews get in the
Like-
fucking temple,
Bro,
man.
like you can't tell me there's gonna be quantum computers and AIs just running, and we're just gonna be like living like that, and the world's not just gonna fucking collapse on us, bro.
All right.
I
Implode.
don't think so.
I have a theory that's not based in anything outside of I just believe it.
Bro, y'all watch The Matrix?
That's literally
I
where I'm
have-
going.
I
Yeah,
have
go
not
ahead.
really-
Bro, there's
watch
no
The
way the Matrix is gonna happen like actually like it was in the movie before the world ends.
Have
Like
you seen the
even if it does
Animatrix?
happen, that's it. Like bro, because everything's prophesized, and the way that the world ends is gonna be through human behavior. That's it.
I think it's nukes, man. I think we literally are just gonna blow ourselves up.
I'm gonna take a piss. Y'all go ahead.
No, not. I mean, why would that happen though? You gotta think about it like that. Like
It just takes one person.
if
to
I
make
had a
one
nuke
bad
and you
decision.
had a nuke,
Right.
Are we just gonna be like, well, fuck my life and fuck your life? Let's just nuke this whole room.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna go though. I think
Nah,
it's
bro.
dumb.
I don't know.
Well, then why would they create it? Because now the whole point is like now they just keep creating nuclear energy and like all these.
Bro, they had nukes a long time ago. They would have done that already. Right now, dude. Right now, what's the real weapon is cyber. Cyber warfare is the new nuke. Dude, like China created TikTok to fuck with all American brains.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the longer this goes, the stronger that China will be as a military because they can just invade. Now, America obviously has a strong military as far as military weaponry and, you know, their military power and their influence. But that all could be shattered with brains and psychology. So, with social media, you can actually go to war with a country
Right.
by just fucking up all their kids' brains, and then like 30 years later, you have a generation of liberals.
Yeah, because
and
you've
shit.
kind of you've infiltrated without even having to be there. And
Yeah,
it's like I can
exactly.
just control the way that you think.
Yeah, that's it. That's
They're
how
gonna shut you
cyber
down
warfare
from the
works.
inside out.
That's
I can
how
make-
cyber warfare works.
Yeah. You can make men think that they're women. You can make women think that
Yeah.
they're men, and then it's like, no, you can't. But
And then
they
you
believe it.
gotta think about like hacking and how that works. If I shut down everything that takes electricity and internet
Mm-hmm.
in a country, they're fucked.
Yeah, it's over.
It won't take maybe 3 or 4 days, and the whole country will be dead.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
legitimately,
So,
yeah.
like, think about it, bro. How many
What do you
things? How many processes takes internet? Walmart uses
Yeah.
internet. The
Amazon.
butchery takes internet. Every single thing that we get our food from takes internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll only take about a week for everyone just to just go crazy.
Kill
and
each
start,
other.
Yeah, start killing each other, bro.
Yeah,
Like
to be
literally
like
go
that
back to the
motherfucker's got
caveman
food,
days.
and I gotta like go
Yeah,
defend my
exactly,
woman
bro.
and like defend my tribe, and it's like if I gotta kill the dog and eat the dog, you know,
Yeah.
eat the dog, then I might have to eat the fucking dog.
That's what cyber warfare is, man. And a lot of people fight that. Like, you don't understand. Governments are hacking each other at all times.
Right,
bro.
right.
It's more than we even know. There's a whole war going around behind the screens,
Yeah,
but
no,
we
I
just
believe
don't
that
know it
because
Like,
it's
we just don't see
influence.
it, and
Everything
it's
comes
hidden
down to
from us.
influence.
And then obviously in 50 years we're gonna see a bunch of like declassified, you know, CIA documents or whatever about like,
Documentaries
cyber.
are gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on the
yeah.
big Mike one. I'm gonna be there premiere day. I'm gonna be like, I told you guys. What do you think Michelle Obama's a guy or no? This is like a recurring thing.
Wait, what?
Have
This is like a
heard,
recurring
Do I
thing.
think Michelle Obama is a guy?
Yeah,
Have
do
you
you
heard
think
the
Michelle
rumors?
Obama's a dude?
have you heard the rumors?
No.
How like they just like think she's a man.
Why?
I don't know.
'Cause
Why
she
do we
looks
think
like a
that?
man?
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's a
It's
couple
more
different
than that.
things.
It's
Or
more
because
than that.
Obama's gay?
Well,
Both.
Obama is gay. Do you think Obama's gay?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Obama's gay. Anyways, I'm not gonna keep bringing this up on every podcast, but I
No,
really
I
want
wanna-
to. I just felt like you were the right person to ask.
I don't know.
I wanna know how you started your business and how like kind of go into details about the foundation.
Bro,
of
so
it.
check it out. I was never okay with being broke, and I worked for a pizza place. I noticed they were working with an outdated ass system, so I built something for them, and I realized
For the place that you worked.
So I realized that I could make some money doing this. So the first year of me starting my business, I was doing restaurants, and it took me a year to realize that's a bad idea. Because, man, I was giving them the best software. Bro, I was giving them AI analytics. I was giving them AI SMS marketing, a whole AI bot that tracks everything customer says, tracks their locations, tracks everything. Something that enterprise level companies will pay millions of dollars for, and I'm charging like $500 a month. Not even. That's like the good ones, you know? That was like me banking out and laughing to the bank.
Right.
Bro, so I didn't want to do that, all that. I don't want to give all that value for such low cost, right? I knew that there was better opportunities for me. Something where I can give my services to someone and my knowledge, because I know a lot about computers. A lot. I've been studying this since I was a kid.
Yeah, I could tell.
So I knew that I can make more money. So what did I do? I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call these restaurants, all my clients, it was only like 10. and I tell them, hey, the prices are raising from $300 a month to $700 a month. Do you want to stay or not? Every single one of them said no. So then I was broke again. I was left with no clients. So that was like a year later. Now I do custom software, which is like management software. People that want to run their business on what I do. So I'll provide, like, let's say this podcast. You run this podcast on YouTube or whatever, or like this thing. So that you need it for your business. You need it. Otherwise, like, without that, you're fucked. Like, there's no business. There's no podcast. There's no mic, like no microphone, no podcast, no camera, no podcast. So I want to provide something like that where it's like, there's no way this guy's gonna switch.
You just plug it in. And
if I call him today and say the prices are raising to everything you have, what's in your bank account? Oh, 17,000. 17,000. That's what it costs. Then he has to say yes. Otherwise, his $17,000 and like, or what he saves, $17,000 will soon turn to zero.
You have all the leverage.
Yeah, leverage, exactly. But that's not saying that I'm screwing people over.
Right.
I'm actually giving them a good service.
You're doing it to protect your financial future.
And this is the thing, what I tell people. I have a strong theory about sales in general and just business. And I believe you have to be selfish. And this might contradict what I said before, but people don't understand. Selfishness means you'll do whatever it takes to get what you want, even if it's giving someone more.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my idea of selfishness is not about I don't care about you, but it's just I have to care about myself.
Let me break it this way. Like, let's say, because we're in finance, we're in finance, and what we do is we go above and beyond to make sure our client has the best experience, the best financial products, the best future. Even when they don't need us, we reach out and make sure everything's okay. Even when it's their birthday, we come to their birthday, we give them gifts. We go above and beyond. We buy them gifts that maybe they don't even, more than what the policy costs, but we do that because we are giving more just to make sure that business stays on the books.
Yeah.
Like, there's a standard. It's like, I won't drop below this standard because this is what I value myself and what I bring as. So even if the client doesn't, like you said, like if the commission's not high or whatever, it's like, I don't care. It's like, this is how I run my business.
Well, and you gotta think about it like this. The only reason why you think of that way is because someone above you, before you, succeeded in doing that.
Right.
100%.
And if someone was doing that and not succeeding, and like, let's say my OGs fucked people over, right? And that's the way of business. That business would die.
Yeah.
But the reason why your business is alive today, and then you follow those principles, is because someone before you figured it out and said, this is what I have to do. So that lesson just goes on for eternity. And that's exactly what it is, That's why I have that thought, because I want my business to last forever. I'm not just trying to get a quick paycheck and then go spend it in, Tulum or whatever,
How did you get your clients in regards to the businesses that you're working with now? Because it was originally restaurants.
Yeah.
You realize you want to get out of that space. How did you get the clientele that you want?
So I have, everything is a numbers game, right? If I meet 100 people a day and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, meeting 100 people a day, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to be the sleazy salesman. I just want to meet 100 people a day and just explain to them what I do.
That's so simple.
It's very simple,
so
bro.
Simple.
It's very simple, and you'll be surprised. Like, people hit me up from like 3 months ago that I met, and they're like, yo, man, do you still do software?
Right.
I'm like, do I still do software?
No, I just gave it up last week. Damn, bro, you just missed the window.
Yeah,
It's
like, you damn right I still do software. Let's get on a Zoom call. Bro, so, like, if I meet so many people, and you got to think about it as the numbers game, right? So that's the way I thought about it. And so it's like, how do I get my numbers better? How do I resonate with more people? How do I make sure that not 10 out of 100 people that I meet like me, maybe 50 out of 100 people I meet like me, even if they don't need my service right now.
Right.
Let's say you go to your job the next day and you're like talking to your boss and he's like, man, I need this fucking software. God damn, I can't find anybody. And then you're like, well, boss, I met this guy, 7 weeks ago. He says he does software. Do you want me to call him? Whatever. I don't know what's going to happen. But if I just meet that many people just meeting, I'm just putting in the energy on doing it and doing it and doing it, and just putting myself out there, the message will resonate. And so it's like, if you want to get your numbers better, you just have to improve yourself. Going to the gym, making sure you're talking great, making sure that you actually have something that's going to help people, making sure that you're, you know, a likable person, being inspirational. You know, you're at a restaurant, you sweet talk the waitress, the guy next to you is like, oh wow, oh my god, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like shit like that, you know, the small things. It's all about the small things.
I had some
The way
blood
I
work done, and I
dress.
just pulled up with donuts like 30 minutes later because I was like, hey, you guys treated me great, so I wanted to treat you guys great. And the guy, like, he's like, that's the main fucking character right there. It's like, hell yeah, bro. I dipped out.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, that's that
Yeah,
vibe.
and if you just live that life, you're
Yeah.
not expecting anything in return, and you just explain to people what you do. This is what I do, and you're a likable person. Eventually, you're gonna make money. It's like you have a best friend. Like, let's say you're my best friend.
Okay.
Bro, like, we've been cool forever.
Yeah.
And then you just so happen to be a barber.
Right.
Bro, the next time I need a haircut, I'm not gonna look up barbers near me. I'm just gonna hit them
it's
up.
Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, bro, I need my haircut.
yeah,
All right, bro, got
exactly. I'm not gonna look up barbers in my city. I'm just gonna hit you up because it's
Yeah.
more convenient for me. If I do that, it makes me look like an asshole if you found out.
You. Yeah, so
You know
so
what I
true.
mean? Because people all have egos.
Yeah.
So if I meet someone at the gym and he's like, man, bro, like we build a good connection. And he's like, oh, wow, like this, that. I go to a pickleball game with him, you know. Oh, man, you beat me for the second time. Obviously, I'm going to let him win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Or
but
it's-
obviously, when he needs software, he needs a website, he's just going to call me. There's no
That's
if,
funny.
ands, or buts. That's what he's going to do. It's more convenient. He knows he can trust me. He follows me on Instagram where I post all the shit. So it's like, why would he sit there and look for people when he could just hit me up?
Right.
At least he can get a price quote from me.
Mm-hmm.
At least he can, you know, ask me. I'll give him a consultation. Whatever. We're friends, you know? He beat me in pickleball.
Yeah.
Do you
know?
really let people win in games?
Hell yeah, bro.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's a gem I just
Unless
took.
it's like a simp guy.
Yeah.
That's like, he's just a cuck. Fucking.
Give him
Bro,
something.
He just
man.
knows he deserves to lose.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll just
but
let
people
him
with
have it,
egos.
bro.
But people with egos.
Yeah, you gotta know who you're dealing with.
Interesting.
Obviously, you know, so obviously,
That's
like
very
those people,
interesting.
That's good.
Yeah, like,
That's-
I'll
That's
act like I'm
very
trying and-
interesting.
yeah,
That's got to be like some Robert Greene shit right there.
Robert Greene, who's a
Yeah.
He's an
Like,
author. He's wrote the
Laws of
48 Laws of
Power.
Power, Mastery.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I never
Uh,
read that. I watched like a summary on it on YouTube.
Yeah. He does his own summaries on YouTube, so he probably watches his own video talking
Maybe,
about it.
maybe
so-
I don't know.
Ro-
I don't
Robert
know.
Greene is a
Cool guy.
But
smart.
it's a popular book. I know that.
It's a
Yeah.
yeah.
He also wrote The Laws of Human Nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it just a lot of great books. Let me ask you this: what are you excited about?
Excited,
What are you excited about
like in life.
in life and business?
You know, dude, I like making money, and it's so cliche, but I gotta be honest to who I am, and like I said, I can't go to my landlord and say, "Yo, bro, like you know the Mavs just won. Can I stay here for another month?" You know, I can't be excited about anything else. I have to be excited about money. It's just what I have to do. So, but more so, what excites me about money is making more money than anyone else, doing what I like doing. Because you meet some people, they're just miserable and they don't make shit.
Mm.
You know, so it's kind of exciting to make money, and you're happy about doing it. I guess I don't know,
So what number do you feel like you're like, yeah, like let's say you hit that number in income?
bro.
you're
So
like,
I'm trying to
"Fuck,
sell my
yeah."
app right now, and I'm reaching for 50 M's. Because I made a LinkedIn app.
Mm.
I didn't explain this, but I have a LinkedIn automation app for lead generation using AI.
Mhm.
And I don't know if there's anything out there. I looked it up. No one's ever heard of something like this before. No one's using it. I've never met someone that says, "Oh, I use something that just is like that." So I pretty much have the market share, the lion's share, and so I've just launched it. I barely have users, nothing even in the hundreds, and dude, if someone comes up to me and says, here's 20 M's, give it to me. That's it. Because, like I said, I do apps with no code. I can make an app in days. And I have ideas running around and around and around in my brain. So if I can just keep doing that, make an app, sell it, 20 M's. Make an app, sell it, 20 M's. Dude, like, that's billions a year, you know?
Yeah.
But right now, like, we're dealing with, like, investors and stuff. Like, but I don't want an investment. That's the thing. I do not like investments.
Why?
Because if you want to buy it from me, we'll talk numbers. But if you don't want to buy it from me, then don't talk to me. Simple.
I think it's not that
I don't want to do the work for you.
Yeah, well,
and I
that's
just
what they
give you all
want.
my
They don't
money.
want the product. They want you because you come with the brain that can create more products. That's really what
Well,
it is.
this app just launched, so anyone can do this shit.
Hmm.
So
What does it do specifically? This can you talk about it, or you
brings
can't talk about
leads.
this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I use it myself.
Yeah.
It brings me leads. It talks to people for me.
Hmm.
You train your AI on what you want it to say. You train it on who you want it to look for. And it's all on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the most untapped business market. If you're in
Facts.
B2B, anything, even financial services. And it was funny because real estate agents are the one that gave me the idea. Because I built custom apps, real estate agents would come to me and say, hey, I do a lot of manual work on LinkedIn. Can you do it with AI? I was like, yeah, I can. So 3 different realtors came to me before I was like, this is an app idea. Like, this needs to be created. Because why are people asking me for this if it already exists?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. And it's very easy to make. So that's what I did. And people are using it right now. Obviously, my first clients were my old clients. But yeah, if anyone wants to buy it and make a bunch of money, then they can do it for 20 M's. But it's like buying Facebook, because like in tech, they have what's called a pre-seed funding. Pre-seed funding. So pre-seed means pre-users. Basically, when a nerd just creates something, that's pre-seed. And then you seed the app, which basically means, like, if you do seeding, you do fake accounts to make the app look like it's got some motion,
Yeah.
right? So like seeding is another term for just like making a bunch of data into the app and like getting users and stuff like that. So the way that tech funding works in like Silicon Valley, they do pre-seed, and then once they get that money in, then they do marketing, then they do like Series A or I don't know how it works. Dude, I went to a conference in San Francisco where I did like a workshop and everything about AI, and I had my booth like next to Google and everything. So I had people come up to me and they're like, yeah, what round of funding are you in? I'm like, round of funding? Habibi, I'm self-funded, bro. I don't
Yeah.
do that type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
You want to buy my app? You know?
Yeah.
Bro, so like it's just different, you know? But if someone believes they can market this and they have the money, or they don't even have to have the money. If someone has investors wanting to invest in tech, they can invest in the app. They just have to hire a marketer.
Yeah.
You know? So it's simple.
What questions do you have for us, or what final thoughts do you have?
I don't know, man. We've been talking about a lot of shit. I'm just
Yeah, we kind of went everywhere today.
it's just like a normal conversation, to be
Yeah.
honest, you know?
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
Anything on
And-
your mind that you want to unpack, or anything that you want to say?
Well, first off, definitely want to say, if anyone's watching this, which camera is like the one I should look at? If anyone's watching this and listens to what I say and wants to invest, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, tech.usama, USAMA. My website is getocta.ai. And whoever wants to use LinkedIn, let me know. I'm also teaching people right now. I'm launching a free community to teach people how to do what I do, which is exciting for me. So if you want to know what's exciting, that's kind of exciting. So teaching people how to do it, and you know, hopefully people are getting to know the image and the brand and what resonates with no code and low code and AI. Because man, right now that's what they're pushing in Silicon Valley. I was there when ChatGPT came out. Bro, I saw the billboards in San Francisco. They were just like random shit. Like, oh, phone service, ads, whatever. All of them just went down, and then they put up new billboards. AI, 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 AI this, AI that. Now I'm talking about random companies like IBM, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all of these big boys. Now they're promoting AI. So if you guys want to get caught up on the trend of money making, then no code and AI, definitely.
Awesome, man. Thank you for your time, brother.
Absolutely. My boy.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.